Hi, baseball fans, and welcome to another installment of Talkin' Rangers Baseball. I'm Hondo, and in a second we're going to be joined by Big Boppy in Modesto. But right now, first I want to tell you that this installment is brought to you by sportswagers-selections.com and EddieTheHatWins.com, where winning is everything. Winning. Boppy, welcome from Modesto.
Hey, it's great to talk to you again, Hondo, and what a great year we've got ahead of us. The Texas Rangers defending their American League Championship.
Yep, it's going to be a good season again, I think, for the Rangers, and I think it's going to be an interesting season throughout all of baseball. We're going to briefly run down our winners that we think are going to win the six divisions with our wild card picks, and then we'll wind up with our AL and NL MVP winners who we project, and also our our Cy Young Award winners. So let's start in the AL West. Who's your selection to win the AL West, Boppy?
I think the Rangers are the national choice again. Even though they lost Josh Hamilton for up to 8 weeks, I think they're going to prevail because of their pitching, because of their defense.
I would agree. I'm really impressed with their defense so far. Their pitching has just been lights out. It's early, and you don't know that Alexei Ogando and Derek Holland and Matt Harrison will be able to keep it up. But they aren't going out there without the stuff to win. If they continue to command the strike zone like they have, I think they can be successful. So yeah, I'm going to go with Texas too. And how about your AL Central pick, Boppy?
The American League Central, I like the Tigers. But the Tigers are a flawed team. They need a bat behind Miguel Cabrera. I think they were counting too much on Maglio Ordonez. He's really not. He's had his best years. He's not going to do what they need done. They've got to get a bat, but then I think they're going to win it.
Okay, I'm going to go with a surprise here. I'm going to go with a lot of people are projecting the Royals to be good 2 or 3 years down the line, but I'm going to go with the Royals to win it this year. I'm not at all impressed with the Twins, White Sox, or Tigers, and I just think you might have a surprise in this division, so I'm going to go with the Royals. And the Indians, of course, are an early season sensation, but I think they're eventually going to come back to the pack. But I don't think anyone's going to run away with that division. I think it's going to be pretty competitive all the way, but I'm going to pick the Royals.
I think that's an educated guess. And if the Royals lineup supports that pitching staff, they could be that good.
How about your AL East?
Well, in the next league East, I go with the Yankees. Although I really love the fact that the Red Sox added Adrian Gonzalez, who to me is maybe going to have one of the biggest years ever in the majors this year.
Well, I'm going to go with the Red Sox in that division, even though they're off to a terrible start. I just don't see Jacoby Ellsbury, Pedroia, Youkilis. I don't see those guys hitting below 200 the whole way. So I think they're going to win it. I don't like Dice K and I don't like John Lackey in their rotation. But I think with a top 3 of Lester, Clay Buchholz, and looks like a rejuvenated Josh Beckett, they're going to have enough to hold off the Yankees, who are my wild card selection. Who's your wild card selection in the American League, Boppy?
I think it's going to be Oakland. I think that their pitching makes them a dangerous team in the playoffs. They may be the team in the American League that you want to play the least, because with those starters, they could really run through the playoffs and make it very, very difficult on anybody they play.
I agree. That's a very impressive young pitching staff they have, and I really, really like their young left-hander, Brett Anderson. I think if he stays healthy, he's a long shot candidate to win a Cy Young Award, if not this year, some year soon, because I really, really like him as a pitcher. How about your NL selections? Let's start in the West, Boppy.
The Colorado Rockies have more than anybody else. Their pitching is solid. And they have, to me, the best player in the National League outside of Albert Pujols, but the best two-way player in Troy Tulowitzki. What a player. And then he's got a supporting cast with Carlos Gonzalez. All they need is a little bit of support from the rest of the lineup, and they should win 100 games this year.
I like the Rockies also with their 1-2 punch of Cargo and Tulo, so we're in agreement there. How about the NL Central?
The NL Central, I think the Cubs. I think the Cubs have got enough the right balance. I think they're going. I don't think the Cincinnati Reds have the staying power of the pitching that will sustain them. I think that pitching is like a one-year deal, and I would be shocked if the Reds were in contention in August.
Well, I'm going to stick with the Reds. I think their offense is too good, and I think they're going to have enough pitching to get the job done. And I think the Cubs are one Carlos Zambrano eruption away from falling back into mediocrity like they did last year. How about your NL East?
Well, the elephant in the room there again is the Philadelphia. You can't really pick against them. Although I think that Atlanta Braves have built a team that can win, but it's just that Philadelphia's loaded. Although right now I would say their lineup is flawed because Chase Utley's not there, so they need another bat to step up behind Ryan Howard.
Right, and I would agree with that, but I just think their pitching is just too strong, and that division is the Phillies to lose. I'm going to go with the Dodgers as my wild card selection. Who do you like as the wild card team, Boppy?
I think the Dodgers arch rival the Giants. I think with that pitching staff, you've got four sensational starters, and the fifth guy's pretty good too. And sometimes he's very good, Barry Zito. So I just think the Giant pitching, again, it carries them into the playoffs, and if they can solve their defensive problems, they may be tough to beat.
Okay, how about your two MVP winners this year?
MVP, I said before, I think it's going to be Troy Tulowitzki. It's either going to be him or Albert Pujols, but I think Tulo's going to be one of the brightest stars shining in the National League this year.
Okay, and in the American League?
In the American League, I like Miguel Cabrera. I think he's the glue that holds together the Tigers, and I think the Tigers are going to the playoffs.
Okay, I'm going to go in the National League with Ryan Howard. I think he's going to have a monster year, 140 RBIs, 45 homers. And in the American League, I'm going to go with the new kid on the block here in the league, Adrian Gonzalez of the Red Sox, who I think is just his style of hitting is just totally suited for Fenway Park.
I have to agree with you, and it's just if the supporting cast is around him and comes through, I actually think Adrian Gonzalez could have one of those historic years. And even though I didn't pick him as my MVP, I think if there's action on this particular bet, I think you could win a long shot bet to have Adrian Gonzalez get 160 or more RBIs this year.
Alrighty, and who are your two Cy Young Award selections for each league, Boppy?
I like Gio Gonzalez in the American League, although I think I would give a dark horse candidate to a rookie that you'll probably laugh at, but I think Zach Britton is one hell of a pitcher.
Well, Zach Britton has looked good through two starts, but as we both know, two starts do not make a season, let alone a career.
Right,
so
he's my wild card.
I'm going to go with Clayton Kershaw in the National League, who I think is, each year he's gotten better, and I think he's going to put forth his top season so far this year with a 21 year, and I think he's going to win the Cy Young Award in the National League, and I think John Lester is overdue to win a Cy Young Award in the American League, and he's going to lead the Red Sox into the playoffs this year.
Well, if Kershaw wins it, he'll do it because he beats out one of the best pitchers of our era, Roy Halladay.
Are you picking Halladay in the National League?
I think he's a real good bet.
Okay, so that's your National League selection?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, Boppy, as always, it's been a great talking with you. Looking forward to another big season, and let's get those Rangers home and watch another exciting postseason of baseball.
Hey, thank you, Hondo, and don't forget Boppy's four-bagger.
That's right, Boppy's four-bagger is debuting. Each day, Boppy's going to give you a number of games permitting a four-team parlay in baseball, which he thinks are the four best bets of the day. Parlay them and win a bundle and retire and move to Hawaii on Boppy, because he's going to come up with some good selections. And don't forget, sportswagers-selections.com and EddieTheHatWins.com, where winning is everything. Winning. Talk to you again soon, fans.